chairs with DJ Yaley and the Delaware Office of Highway Safety begins right now.
Come on, let's go. Set up the chairs now all in a row. You run around the chairs till the music stops, and you have to find a seat now. Don't get caught, 'cause when the music stops,
You're listening
you can't be
to
standing there if you want to be a winner at
David.
musical chairs. Now we take away a chair while you're running.
Right? That was just smart.
That poor lady, she looked devastated.
Well, I just thought it was smarter than the rest of them. But I only did it once. I wanted to make sure I made it through the first round. If I couldn't make it through the first round, then that was really pathetic.
You can't be standing there if you want to be a winner. You got to be a winner if you want to be a winner at musical chairs. Yeah!
You have a little bit of fun, musical chairs?
Yeah, I did. Did another little program with the Delaware Highway Safety Group, and going to the Click It or Take It program. Played some games, signed some autographs, did some really cool things, and enjoyed myself. It looks like we might possibly go back for the Fall Dover race with another program with them. So we're waiting to see exactly what falls in place there. But regardless, I had a great time, signed some autographs at the Air Force Base on Friday night. I met a lot of great families and hello.
Click it or ticket. Wait, I'm like, I wonder if he's still talking.
No, it went dead.
It went dead.
My computer was plugged into the wall, but somehow the wall charger goes into the box.
Yeah.
You know, the big box. Yeah. It was like this. So no power is getting from here to here, and it died.
What's going on, buddy? Welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. It's been a rough couple weeks. Real rough couple weeks.
I don't know where you want to start.
I'm glad that I postponed last week. That way we could add more confusion to this week's LOL show. I'm trying to think what was good that happened. I guess going all the way back to Dover, that was good. The car performed well. I didn't get in the big pileup down the middle of the back straightaway, and it's been kind of a struggle here of late with the number 49 Robertson Blakeney team. Just been struggling with the engine stuff. Going all the way back to the showdown where I got into the wall in the first lap of the race. That took a car that was one of our better cars. Had to go to the body shop. We didn't get it back in time for the 600. We took a car that we ran at Darlington that we had problems with. Thought that we had those bugs corrected, and still had some major engine issues before qualifying. It just kind of hurt the whole process through the 600. So, we didn't run well there. Very disappointed in our performance. Went to Dover. Everything worked pretty good. And then, this past weekend had a lot of speed. Everything seemed pretty good. Just trying to find a place to ride around. It was not in our plan to race Pocono. The idea was to race Michigan. And I don't know how much that's been affected by what happened, but what most people might not have seen was the 32 car, which was Reed Sorensen, I guess broke a rear axle. When that happened, it shoved its way through the rear end housing and knocked the end cap off that keeps all the fluid in and the axle in. As he entered turn 3, it basically just doused the racetrack with rear end fluid. As I went into turn 3 behind the 36 car, which was Tony Raines filling in for Dave Blaney, I saw him shoot up the racetrack at the last second. I saw the streak of oil, caught it, and we both just kind of did the choo-choo train into the fence. Couldn't get the car to slow down like I wanted it to. Couldn't get the car to turn at all. And I basically ran in the back of Raines just as he flat-sided the wall than I flat-sided the wall. But it created a lot more nose damage than anything else. So lost a bunch of laps. We worked on getting the car put back together, went on the racetrack, made some more laps. I had a really hard time running minimum speed. We had taken the transmission cooler off for qualifying, And, in the race, we couldn't run a lot of laps with me shifting, and there was a big speed difference between shifting and not shifting, especially after the tires fell off. So had to call it a day. And like I said, that was the car we were going to take to Michigan. Forced the guys to come back to the shop, take a car that was another MWR car, kind of completely go through it, change rear end housing, all the spindles, everything. And the guys been busting their tails off to get that car turned around. The car will leave tomorrow and head towards Michigan so we can do the test on Thursday.
So you met some great folks at the Delaware Air Force Base, signed some autographs, made some great families.
It was a lot of fun. We were signed for about an hour, had a lot of other nationwide drivers, some Cup drivers come out. They had Jared from Subway come out. So it was cool. It was definitely great to see, the faces of the fans, of families that, are sacrificing, their time away from home to defend our freedom.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. It's always nice to do that and give back a little bit. So tell me about the Prelude. I missed it.
Whoa, you didn't miss nothing.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, it was bad
fast?
from, it was bad from lap one. We, first hot lap session, the car was super tight, wouldn't turn. We were like 12th fastest, not very good. They worked on the car, made some adjustments, went from 12th fastest to 20th fastest in second hot lap session, and the car was really bad. So they thought they'd found some problems. A shock was out of adjustment, some other small things. Went out to qualify and just didn't have any forward bite. The car just had no speed. It was kind of crazy. So, again, qualified poorly. And then in the heat race, it just seemed like any time something bad happened, it happened right in front of me. And Kurt Busch had a big tank slap road down back straightaway. The caution light actually came out, and I was just trying to get down out of the road. Next thing you know, Kurt hung a left and run into him and knocked the right front of the body off and really screwed up the aero. Then, I ran a couple laps in the heat race and the car was horrible, so I just pulled in. I actually thought that something, the front suspension was bent, it handled so poorly, and they told me it had a lot to do with the aero side of it. They worked feverishly trying to get the thing fixed for the feature, went out, and, it just seemed like every time there was a wreck, I just touched the brake pedal and the thing would try to spin out. So I don't know if something was bound up or what the issue was, but to go from running second and being a contender to win the race last year to feeling like it was my first time ever on dirt in a matter of 365 days was pretty painful. So it was a little bit different. They brought two cars this year versus the one car last year. Dave Blaney was in the other car. I know that he struggled with some small things. His car seemed to be a little bit better than mine most of the time that he was out there. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, there was a lot of people bought the pay-per-view. They enjoyed the races. A lot of families are going to get fed. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely first and foremost most important. There's a lot of money and a lot of hungry people fed. So
certainly
that's good. I was actually stunned because I missed it and I looked online the next morning and I was like, wait a second, you finished second last year. You gotta move Boyer out of the way to take the win. Yeah,
they're I felt silly too because I made a big thing about if I got in the same position, obviously I was gonna not settle for second like I did last year, and wasn't even contention for top 10 it looked like. But after I spun and ran into the back of, I think it was Donnie Schatz and somebody got together and wrecked and backed into him. I didn't know how much body damage there was, but at that point I'd pretty much given up, and I said, I've had more than enough fun for one night. I'm going to call it quits.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, just to go back to Pocono, understanding the accident, but how was the pavement, racing surface, with it being new? And
it was, interesting enough. It wasn't. It didn't have as much grip as I really expected it to have for being, being fresh asphalt. Gladly it was better than the issues that we had at Phoenix after their fresh repave. The racetrack did have grip, and I'm sure that Goodyear brought a pretty hard tire that was going to be on the conservative side to where there wasn't going to be wear issues. I'm sure they could build a tire that would make us go another, 2 seconds faster than what we were. But I think all in all, the racetrack did a fantastic job of repaving the racetrack. The racetrack still has some rollingness to it, some character to it. So, it's just not a glass smooth racetrack, kind of like an Indy would be. It still had a lot of the feel of the original Pocono. So it was a lot of fun. It was a little bit different going into turn 3 after, 3 or 4 years of running around the outside groove for that patch where you actually had to dive back to the bottom like it was years ago. But regardless, the surface was good. All the improvements, I think, made for a lot better racing. I think the fans enjoyed it. I think the drivers will enjoy going back a lot more than maybe they have last couple years.
Mm-hmm. Did you get out go-karting?
I did not, unfortunately. I know that Randy over at S&S Speedway is probably mad at me because he did send me a text on Wednesday, asked me where I was at, and unfortunately where our team stayed was 40 miles the wrong direction from Pocono. It was probably 40 miles from S&S, so I didn't make the hour and 20-minute drive to go-kart racing. Spent some time with Joel Butte and the guys from Star Coach Race Tours in the infield, some of his race fans over there, played some cornhole, ate some good food, and just kind of chilled out.
That's cool. What's up for Michigan? We know we're taking a different car. We got 45 cars entered. What do you see coming forth for the big 2 mile?
It's going to be interesting because, I've talked to some people from the Michigan test, and, there was a lot of hype about the entry speed at Pocono at 211, 212, and I'd seen as much as 214 at Michigan. So, I think there's going to be a lot more grip. It's going to be a lot more on the edge. You're definitely going to have to, kind of man up for what it sounds like at Michigan. I don't think the line has changed much other than you're just going tremendously faster. So, it's going to be interesting to see. We've been working on the engines, trying to get them fine-tuned. I felt like we really had a pretty good package through through at least practice day. We'd made some adjustments thinking it was going to give us more power for qualifying. I think it actually made it worse and hurt the engine a little bit. So, there's still a lot to learn with the new EFI systems and the fuel injection, and without having the support of some of the big engine builders and manufacturers, being more of an independent team with independent engine builder, it's going to take a lot more time.
So with July 4th coming up in the middle of the week this year, any big plans?
There's the usual. Once you go to Daytona, you typically the family and I will end up going to Disney World. We'll do that for one day. We're going to go to SeaWorld for another day. That's something we haven't done in years past. And then we'll spend the rest of the time maybe at the beach relaxing before it's time to head over to Daytona and do our best at putting in the show and going racing for the 4th of July race.
What's the plan going forward with the restrictor plate? The engine program, what car are you going to take? Has that been settled yet?
It hasn't been settled because I think ultimately it still comes down to money. The car that we took to Talladega was probably a second faster than the car we had at the Daytona 500. Obviously we still missed the race. We still were way off on our engine program. We've been working diligently trying to secure some different sponsorship pieces, and if that can be attained, there's a good chance that we'll either have a different engine builder going to some of the restrictor plate tracks, make an engine or manufacturer change to one of the other manufacturers to find that power that we're lacking. But again, at the end of the day, it all boils down to money and having that ability to go out there and buy that horsepower. Because, right now we go to the racetrack, we're probably struggling anywhere between 30 and 40 horsepower between the big teams, which is significant. That's at the rear wheels. That's not off the dyno. That's directly off the chassis dyno. So, when you're giving up that kind of power, and it's not even so much the power as much as it is the torque and the acceleration. A lot of places that's what hurts you the most. So. You don't see quite as much qualifying because you carry the momentum. If you have the car handling well, it doesn't show up as much. Just for instance, this weekend in Pocono, I took it easy, but we still qualified a decent speed and out qualified some cars that had more horsepower, but the car handled very well. You just can't afford to go to the racetrack and have an ill-handling car, or for me to go out there and make a mistake, because you just don't have that power to help save you and regroup that time you lose.
Wow.
So it makes it tough.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's a really fine line to walk, right? You're either power or handling, and sometimes you're not always going to have power. And then if your handling's not there, you as a driver, you can only turn on so much, right?
Yeah, and ultimately I think that's what happened mostly to us qualifying for the Coke 600. You know, the car was way off because we spent the entire hour and a half practice trying to troubleshoot an engine that had a terrible miss and just didn't run at the level that it should have been. And next thing you know, you go on the racetrack, and you already guess between when you finish practice and qualifying, just because the track changes so much, you gain so much speed, and with the temperature changes. So we just can't afford to miss it too much. It sounds easier than not, but those are the cards we're dealt with, and we'll go out there and do the best we can.
I just want to make a note, because I'm going to totally forget about it, but you are, I think you're in it to win it this year in your pool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where am I at?
You're
my
up
top
to
10?
third, man. You're in the third spot.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I looked, I'm like, I mean, I haven't put in this week's points yet, because I've just been, with my busy weekend, I missed the race, I missed qualifying, I missed everything. But I'll get it all up and posted. But if I look at where you finished last week, you're sitting third. So the return of the Dragon was definitely the right year to pull out the name.
Nice. Where are you at?
No,
come on, Dave. Where are you at?
Hang on. I'm 15th.
Oh, well, that's respectable.
Yeah. But I can say my fellow Canadian Dave Sharp there, he's pulling it quick behind you with Red Barchetta Racing, so he's making a move as well. So good luck to him. Good.
What about my better half? Where is the missus at? I'd like to be able to rub that one in.
What are the misses? She was really down, wasn't she?
She was back in the 80s last time we checked, I think.
Kiki. No, she's 48.
Oh, well, that's not so bad. It's not third, but...
no, it's not third. And it's probably not going to be enough.
Yeah, she's not even a lucky dog from that. Yeah, lucky dog's not going to help her none.
No. Someone needs something more than a lucky dog, I think, to catch you now. It's good though. It's going to be interesting. A lot of trades happening, so we're trying to keep up on everything. So people are really starting to pay attention. So they want the prize at the end. Go ahead.
Oh, if you want to ask a question about Sonoma, I've had a couple of people ask on the official Robson Blakeney page if I was running Sonoma, or if they were changing to put a road course guy in. I am driving.
Okay.
I'm the man.
That'll be the track I want to come to.
Huh?
Yeah. It's like no, you can't. We don't do good with road courses, and you.
All right, I'm done.
Yeah. Getting silly.
Okay, have a good night.
You too.
Great seeing everybody. Okay, that's my plan. I'm going to have a good week and go fast.
Okay.
10-4? Yes, 10-4. I'm going to take my magnet in my car and flip around the other direction. Reverse polarity.
Like a fat kid on a Smartie.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, you guys have a good night.
See you, buddy. Enjoy.
You can't be standing there if you want to be a winner.